think he wants us to wake him up. Oh.
Okay. In a change to our scheduled game, it's not going to be Crowns versus WARHURYEAH. We're going to Jasmine, full tilt, boys. So, War, all your preparation, all your analysis, for nothing, man.
I know.
We're going to have to wing it.
What was also really annoying and a bit of an oversight is that I wrote this invisible ink. I don't have my UV light either, so...
Every time.
Does anybody have a black light? Anybody?
Anyone? No, don't bring a black light in here. This suit will fucking go up like a Christmas tree, I tell you. It's been an exciting day. I've listened to my voice all the time. Oh.
Okay, I want to see the standings, you know. Please, production, bring us up to speed on what exactly is going on in the group, because we're here in the final round. And standings, 3, 2, 1, go! Fuck off! Just fuck off in my ear!
You just can't give a start these days.
Professionalism, okay. Boom.
What are we paying for?
They think it's right. Jasmine T currently 3 and 0 and 1. They have won 3 games.
That's
lost
amazing.
none.
Undefeated.
And tied 1.
Undefeated.
Undefeated, you could say.
That would be an accurate,
you should be a caster.
descriptive word.
You should be a caster.
You could say that because it'd be correct.
So we're essentially the game we're going to see here is the top 2 teams, although you could contest it for WARHURYEAH are tied for second with full tilt there. But
yeah, but they're paying one of the lower end teams, Crowns.
this game is, you know, the Rolls Royce, the Cadillac of competitive TF2 right now. It's still the group stage. It still doesn't matter. But get hyped. Woo. So moving in here, you guys were on the Jasmine T train way earlier on, whenever I didn't believe. Since then, I went over and stood behind them and says, oh yeah, I always believed in you guys since day one. So, you know, continue the hype. People want to see Jasmine T succeed, right?
Yeah, it's like one of those underdog stories, but it's TF2, so it'd be a bit underwhelming no matter what happens, because not many people will know about it, but we will, and that's what matters. They'll be able to do what...
Feels bad, man.
You know, Immunity never could. This will get... I tell you what, this will get people playing TF2. This will get Valve throwing money at us.
This is it. Matchmaking was just, you know...
They'll just be like, whoa, making it rain blank pieces of paper.
That's for prize money.
So, can anyone tell me what the map is now in round 5?
Badlands.
Nice.
Badlands.
The quintessential TF2
I don't know
map.
if it actually is. Is it Badlands?
I think it is, yeah, because Koss was saying he was looking forward to playing Badlands against Jasmine.
Well, what can I say?
I do pay attention. David the Win is telling us that it's going to be Badlands. We knew that, David the Win.
Yeah, why did you tell us?
Please keep up.
Is there... Why is this guy just parting what War says?
If Dashner was here, he would not let this happen. But thank
Never
you,
forget.
Border Control.
We're on a mission for Polition. We miss you, Dashner. But CommanderX then, your thoughts on this matchup, the map, who's going to win? You still believe in Jasmine, right?
Yeah, I believe in Jasmine. Yeah, Badlands, again, is going to lend itself to the style they play, that sort of aggressive, open style, open map. You can make a lot of stuff happen. There's a lot of options, and I think the scouts like Yui's had a good land so far. He's going to be on fire. Paulson as well has been an absolute sensation, and I think they're just going to thrive.
I didn't understand why Yui was, you know, the 3rd most expensive scout on fantasytf2.com. Thanks, Gentleman John. But now I've been made a believer. I understand the hype. We've seen this man perform game after game. Who needs to step up on the full tilt side, War?
Well, they're all good, so nobody specifically, I guess. They...
Nah, they're fine.
Back to you. So I think, like, from the last game, they actually ran crits, which is actually quite, you know, out of character. Ali getting some frags, and then after that, I believe, getting no more frags, which is definitely not something that you want to do as a demo man.
That's not ideal.
I should know. But regardless of that, I think, to be honest, they've been playing just as well. I kind of think that the maps haven't really been in their favour. If I'm honest, if Jasmine T played against Crowns on a 5CP map, I think it would probably have drawn because, yeah, you can tie, and that's what Crowns like doing. Whereas because they're literally playing on a map that someone has to win, you know, and Crowns just don't have that mentality. You know,
To win?
For the draw.
I think, to be honest, I think that's always like the same thing where again, I've been saying quite a bit where they're too afraid to sort of like, they want to win, but they're scared to lose at the same time. So that just sort of makes this sort of very, very cautious play style, which just ultimately ends up with them doing nothing.
Their whole mentality, though, that the first round is the most important one. It's not that they want to win it. They don't want to lose it. They want to maintain control.
Unfortunately, though, on Viaduct, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because you can't turtle on your last, and if you do, you lose.
You cannot play the clock. It is true.
All you do is play the clock in King of the Hill.
I mean, you can't run the clock down. I've got a point here. I'm going to hammer it home next time we play Product. But on Badlands, does any team actually have an advantage here? I know we haven't seen it being played yet.
I think, from what we've seen, I think both of the teams will be in a very good place because the scouts on Full Tilt are very, very good for starters. So they've got like the ability to sort of just make it their own. The soldiers combo as well. Ali is also really, really, really good. Like, he's got the jumps. I've seen him roll out. It's spectacular.
Alton's rollouts have been on point as well so far, though.
That's a lie.
Aye. No, nothing to add. Just I'm wrong.
Yep.
All right then.
Okay, guys.
I don't need to back that up with facts.
Shocker. I'm going to go against what you say. I believe that Full Tilt are going to come away with the big W here. And they're going to end, I suppose, do they end up top of the table if they take this? It's going to be 3 wins apiece.
Yeah, I think they're only like a point behind. So they should do. I think that they will win as well, to be honest. I've got no analytical thought behind that.
That makes 2 of us.
I
A
have.
feeling.
No, it's because I have to pick a team and I'm very tired. Because David the Win won't let me have a break.
I believe in Jasmine too.
He's chained to the analyst desk. Like,
Yeah.
they will not let him
He
leave.
yelled at me because I went to the toilet.
Did that make you pee faster, or
I had to cut it halfway through. Had to pinch it.
does that give you a sense of urgency right now? You're like,
If I'm honest,
get the job done.
Yeah, I actually fixed the server issues because I really want to get back to my hotel, but I don't know if you'll let me do that either.
It has been a long day of TF2. How do you think that's going to be affecting the players right now? Are they going to be at their peak level? Have they been saving it? They still got something in the tank here?
To be honest, I don't think it really matters, and I think quite a few other people probably be the same. Even if like you're completely sleep deprived, the end game is still just sort of. I kind of feel like you've got just as much energy as the first. Like it never really affects you as much as you really think.
Once the game's underway as well, all that will go out of their mind. They'll just be focused on the game.
The cocaine helps a lot as well.
What is the impact of this game right now? I mean, can we see those standings again, please, production? But like, in terms of the other match, and like how can we theory craft how the teams might end up? Crown sitting here on 7 points. Can anyone get first apart from Full Tilt or Jasmine? Can Froyo take them up there? Yes,
yeah,
they can.
Freya Tech and Full Tilt both have the option to go ahead of Jasmine.
Oh, they'll be tied first as well. Would they?
No, because Jasmine would have a loss, whereas Full Tilt
No, I mean
and Freya have 2 draws.
if Jasmine T lose and Froyotech win,
Jasmine T will still be top, yeah.
how many points do you get for a win?
Let's go with
3 traditionally, in like
Yeah,
one
so
for a draw.
if they lose, I don't want to do this because this is like
let's do Mads live on air.
I don't.
Go.
This is what we've
Bring
put
out the
ourselves
abacus,
into-
boys.
we've
Does
put
anyone have
ourselves into a corner. Okay, if I have 1 card, okay, I've got 3 cards here. Right, that's a win.
Yeah.
I don't have enough cards for this.
Can we get the camera on
No,
here
we
for
don't-
the card
We
demonstration?
don't want anybody
please?
to see this sordid state of the affair.
Show me your magic trick now.
Was this your card?
I'm sorry, Dad. Was this blank 1 you card?
No! Go to your room.
David won't let me.
This is his room.
Like I said before, just to suck all the hype out of it, the groups don't matter. This game doesn't matter because, like, whether you finish first or second, you're still the top 2 seeds.
You're
gonna
still
be playing one
losers
of
because
the
you're playing
worst teams
TF2.
in the bracket. So, can Kill the hype. Dim the lights, please, you know. Don't want to get people too excited.
If you wanted to kill the hype, just get me talking solo. That'll do it perfectly.
Go
We're
ahead,
not
War.
going to be allowed back to
Analysts.
This is it. We're
Go
all
ahead.
fired.
David's going to cut off my crew band, so I can't come back in anymore. I'm with them, I swear. Look at this Twitch clip. See? I was on the stage.
You know, we're hyping up UE.
Are we?
I want to go back.
When did that happen?
Take yourself back, 5 minutes ago when we were actually talking about the game, trying to analyse a little bit. I want you to talk about Full Tilt. Michael Adams, obviously pretty good. Is he the carry right now?
I've heard he's been distracted by.
You were fawning a little bit over Ali.
I think he's been distracted by outside sources.
A certain drunk Portuguese girl.
That could be anyone.
Rumours are that is the case, but we won't say any of that.
We're above that here at teamfortress.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel at twitch.tv/WARHURYEAH/subscribe. I think Ali is pretty much a key player because his calling's actually pretty decent. He does contribute quite a bit to the comms. When I played with him once in a pickup, so it might not be much to go by. In fact, it was TF2 matchmaking. It was contributing a lot to the comms, talking about his Pepes and various other memes like that, because that's what he's very well known for. And I feel like that's a very strong point for the team. But seriously, he's got really good DM. His rollouts are also really good and consistent as well. You don't want to be like a Seb Barton, where you're going to know that when you enter mid, you've already been shot in the foot, regardless.
But sometimes if your timing is so bad, it just throws the enemy off. They don't know when to
Yeah,
expect
right.
you, man. It's predictable if you're fast.
Something's not up here.
He didn't get to mid until 7 minutes into the game.
What is this?
We're all surprised.
If you're watching Seb Barton, we love you. But you're talking about these players in isolation. How does Ali match up against Paulson? If you were, to pick one CX, who are you backing?
Close. I think Paulson's in better form right now on these last few games, but really there's not a lot between them at all. It will just come down to who's feeling it more over the next 30 minutes. It's neck and neck.
How did they match up stylistically? WARHURYEAH, demo man of i40 something.
I think Paulson, from what I've seen, it's probably incorrect, but he's definitely a lot more DM heavy. His on process, his rollouts were not brilliant, but not bad. But he really did have quite a few. His pipes were very, very, very accurate. I will admit that. I won't go there, but they were very, very good. So the thing is, but Ali can pretty much do the same. So on the equal, then they're on level ground. But based on form, from what I've seen with Paulson, I think he's got slightly ahead. But Ali's not really DM heavy. He's got a bit of everything. He's got really good movement, calls as well. But he can he's really, really good, consistent.
He can play a lot of different styles as well. He can play the aggressive role as well as the defensive role. He's got a lot of different tools in his shed.
He can go
play
full
the
retard as well.
Yeah, he can play the bot style as well, where he doesn't do anything, also known as the Skeege.
Still giving Comfortably Spanked a hard time, man. You're triggering me.
I apologise to Skeege right now. I'm sorry.
They did live up to your expectations, though.
It's because I
Down at the
forgot
bottom
he
there.
was here at LAN, and there are a lot of people that intimidate.
Gonna mention what we just heard here, that this game is actually going to be on a LAN server. I don't know if the viewers are aware that most of these matches, if not all of them, have actually been played on online servers from LAN.
It's a sham, guys.
So talking to Talentis briefly in the crowd earlier, he was lamenting the fact that he hadn't actually experienced the LAN rockets. So he's coming in here in a pretty important fixture. It's going to set things up nicely for tomorrow.
They should have just stayed at home.
Are the LAN rockets going to be too much? Is he going to be able to handle them?
He's got no excuse now, has he?
Yeah, that is true, but I think it really does favour soldiers quite a bit. The projectiles are a little bit more responsive, but to me, it could very well turn everything in their head. You never know. They might be in the no ping environment and decide, I don't like it. I prefer the delay.
Gives me more time to think.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it works.
Like slow motion playing with ping.
Exactly.
Things could be about to get a little bit weird then. But
It really has.
I asked you about the demo man matchup. I'm curious how you think Mike is going to do up against Gio. Is that just totally one-sided?
I don't know. I really don't know enough about the Aussie soldiers to make a comment on it fully. I would just say Mike because he hit an air shot and I saw it.
Mike's pretty much better than every soldier ever, so it's not a fair comparison.
The
So
greatest.
it's not
of
even
all
worth
time.
analysing. It's just like Mike things.
Mike's the best. Next topic.
Ast versus Yui then.
I find Ast a weird player. Like,
Yeah.
in lots of these big games, obviously he has the talent, but he's just kind of anonymous in a lot of these big games. I don't really get why.
I don't think he's like
bad.
anonymous. I think it's like he does so many. There are times where he will just completely trash on someone, and then there'll be a time where, like, it just sort of pretty much it just goes a bit quiet.
Yeah.
When he goes a bit quiet, you don't really notice. He's just finish. He's a man of few words. He is. He doesn't do it.
No, we can't do it. Like, they'll probably mess around with the sound.
We're going to turn this up to full volume.
They've got the Monster Cat music blasted in the background again. Sorry.
Sorry, David. Good.
Okay. You know, I've heard a lot of analysis. I'm now going to get you to put your balls on the line, make a prediction, a score line. Who's going to win? WARHURYEAH.
I can't tell you 'cause my fiance's got my balls.
CommanderX.
Well, War's fiance doesn't have my balls, so I'm going to go with 3-2 full tilt. Maybe 4-3. One round in it, full tilt going to wedge it out.
I was going full tilt because I thought you guys were going Jasmine T.
Curveball.
I'm going to say 3-1 to Jasmine T.
Thank you.
I want Jasmine T to win, but I think full tilt will win.
I think it's going to be one of these mad action-packed games. It's going to be some crazy scoreline like 5-4, and I'm still going to go with
Is that
full
the craziest thing you could come up with?
tilt. 9 rounds in 3 minutes.
21.
Pretty
It'll be
cray-cray.
21-0. The config will break and there won't be a win limit. That's crazy.
So we've made our predictions. Just go to a break. We're good. So
Oh, we're meant to be keeping going. Thanks to marketplace.tf. I'm just waiting for it to move to the next sponsor. Essentials.tf. No, we're not. I'm listing off the sponsors, David. Multiplay. Yeah. He loves it when I do this.
Let's talk about Thalash.
Thalash online.
Yeah,
Feels
I've
good,
not really,
man.
I've not really
Scraps
seen it.
off to you.
Feels bad, man.
I've not seen a lot of Thalash this LAN. Again, similar to us. He's not been bad.
He did play really well in one game that I saw.
Was it
Can't remember what
online?
it was though. Well, technically, yeah, it was online.
It's like all our games.
We've
this LAN.
literally bought these people from all over the world. They just played online. Might as well stay at home.
Think about the game, like from the high level perspective. We've got Jasmine T, a team who have come over here, tried to play very aggressive, dialed it down a little bit. Then we've got Full Tilt, who have been living under the cosh of Crowns, Nameless, whatever they've been called in the past few seasons, always complaining these guys play too defensive, too passive. Now that they're coming up against a team who want to attack, are we just going to see both these teams going hard at it, or Full Tilt now?
I
Are
hope
they
so.
cucks? Are they going to be playing super passive and
I hope
defensive?
so. I hope that they will go testes deep and proper smack each other around the face. But to be honest, I think they just will. I mean, they might as well go for it. They pretty much secured upper bracket, I believe both teams have anyway. So I see no reason why they should not.
They're both unbeaten as well.
Exactly. So someone at the end of this has to lose unless they tie.
Things could happen, they could also not happen.
We should have just played product, then somebody has to win.
Every game of LAN.
Or Koth Lakeside.
That's a classic.
It's not a classic, it's relatively new.
Classic for Highlander.
Do you think Jasmine T have peaked too early? Like before today, people weren't really giving them that much credit. They've come out, they've shown their hand that they are contenders. You know,
I think that's
practically
a
gonna finish first.
possibility.
TLR syndrome.
Yeah, TLR syndrome. Like that happened to us where we only had one style of play because they had an incredibly stupid one-dimensional
Demo man.
pocket soldier called AMS who couldn't do anything else apart from launch. It was just me, but I think that's sort of the problem. But I don't think that's going to be the case. We have to wait and see. There is a chance, and there's always the other factor of if they still just keep on playing incredibly well, then he could be completely unstoppable. It's just tomorrow is going to be a new day. As Tiger said, Xenex will apparently have all their excuses completely rectified completely in every single way. They'll receive their 12-hour sleep somehow. So I can only imagine that maybe Xenex will turn around and win.
I mean, they've lost all their games, but they'll probably win it all.
It can only go up from here.
Yeah?
That was a great interview with Tiger. I think we should do some meta-analysis of the Tiger interview.
Everything's gone wrong so far, but I don't see any reason why that doesn't mean we won't win the entire tournament now.
Also, WARHURYEAH are terrible. They're not very good players. They just have teamwork.
We're a very underrated team.
The clue's in the name of the game. Team Fortress 2. Just good teamwork. Okay. But I did have an actual point to make there. I'm suggesting that Jasmine T may have peaked too soon. Been talking to Full Tilt over the last few days, and they have hinted at the fact that they have certain strategies that they're only going to bring out for the big games. Obviously, this group stage game probably not going to be the moment where they produce these pocket strategies, but
I don't like it when they say that though. Like, what strategies are going to be? Engineered to mid.
I hear the announcer telling us to.
I think it's
the game
a lot of conscious.
I think that.
Is this a false start?
Yeah, maybe. I hope so. Let's just carry on like it's.
Okay, yeah, I was right. Throwing over to the casters right now.
Right now.
It's Sideshow and Bren. Let's go!
Woo! It is indeed. This is our final group stage match, and it is Jasmine against Full Tilt. These are the two unbeaten teams taking each other on. So this one is going to certainly be an interesting one, and we are just about to go live. Here it is. Crowns. Sorry, not Crowns against Full Tilt. Threw me off there myself. It's Jasmine against Full Tilt there, and they have gone live on Badlands, Bren.
Absolutely, this is going to be a best of one as per usual. The group stage matches being played. We see Mike taking that forward position by the crates already. One frag going away of Full Tilt as Madness is going to be paying with his life right now. Thalash getting in some decent damage, some decent denial by them. Salentes goes in for the big bomb onto Dave, gets in some damage, but at the same time, everyone from Full Tilt has just been absolutely munched in the process. One last ditch attempt by Mike to try and kill Dave, but it's not going to be enough as Jasmine T are going to be taking the first mid-fight, Sideshow.
Okay, Yui. He just turns up there, just hits about 600 damage in 6 shots and wipes like 4 of the players off the face of the earth to begin. So that's going to kick them off to a decent start here. As the analyst was saying, both of these teams like really high DM level. They like to play this much looser style. Full Tilt have got it in them to slow the game down, but do you know what? I don't think they'll bother. I think they'll enjoy having an opponent that's fast-paced, and they'll attempt to be pushing out of these situations because Jasmine are a kind of team that they can do it against as well. So I really think we're going to see a slugfest of just like team fight after team fight here, and Jasmine are going to be the first ones to initiate, but there's crits building for Kos, which he might get in time to use it.
Well, that's what I'm going to be using the Uber straight away as Jasmine. They move in through the main area. The Sentry Gun doing a decent bit of denial, but Paulson is going to be bringing it down straight quick. And Jasmine T picking up 2 quick and easy frags. They're going for a few more as they're jumping into the high ground. Mike is trying his darndest to try and dodge them as much as he possibly can, but ultimately it looks like Full Tilt are just absolutely crumbling. Thalash the last man standing, and it's not going to be enough whatsoever as Jasmine T just take Full Tilt by the nutsack and just drag them around.
Yeah, that was an excellent start for Jasmine. They destroy them on the mid-fight, take it all the way into last. We're seeing the defensive crit streak come out of Kos quite a few times. We saw it there. He was on 97% when he died. That could turn the tide of a few things. I haven't seen teams do that very often. It's pretty different, really.
Well, this is it. This is going to be mid-fight number 2 as both teams are starting to roll out a little bit now. We're going to see if Yui can turn up to his previous game and show what he is capable of. But Paulson is going to be picking up that med pack, playing a bit defensively from the Windows side now, just trying to exchange spam as much as they possibly can. Mike jumps very far forward, getting a bit aggressive now, putting in some decent damage already. We see Madness coming in from a blow. He's got so much damage onto Kos, and he's been brought down with no issues whatsoever. But Mike with the quick 1-2 brings down Dave and Paulson with no issues. And Jasmine T this time on the back foot as they are going to be losing this mid-fight. However, the only saving grace for them is that Kos did go down at the start of that fight.
Yeah, that mid-fight is all Mike as well. I mean, he gets slightly juggled by a sticky and is forced to take a more aggressive position, drops down. Dave tries to commit with his team instead of backing off, doesn't give Mike the respect that he deserves, and Mike takes him down after doing a ton of damage to his pocket as well. You know, he really just won the mid-fight basically on his own. He just needed some supporting cast from the rest of his team to help him clean up at the end there, but phenomenal stuff. And again, we're seeing the crits. Like, full tilt, they really, I think they're using it as a bit of a test here in the group stages, just to see which teams they can play crits against, which teams are going to punish them for using it. And we're going to see it on Ali fairly shortly. He's going to pop it off from this lower area. It seems in comes the crit streak. He's trying to fish for somebody. What can he find? Zach has already fallen. He finds Geo there, and he's trying to spam a pipe in. It does take down the sentry gun along with Salentes. Ali's still alive, but he's fairly weak, and in comes the soldier onto the point. They're all going to dive in now, but full tilt are falling as the uber charge has eventually come in here from Dave, despite falling in that mid-fight. He is going to be able to survive, get that uber up, and with 2 players down, they still want to push out. This is how thirsty these guys are for blood. As soon as they feel like they're on, you know, in some way able to take control, it doesn't matter how many players they have up, they really want to go for it.
Both teams really showing their prowess now. Thalash taking a bit of damage from the Jasmine squad as they are just pressuring him out of that top balcony area. Right now we see Full Tilt taking a bit of a forward position on this second hold at least. Ali screaming for heals. Mike going to be picking up the first kill at least onto Zaka, so that is one entry that they could use to try and work their way in, and it looks like Full Tilt want to try and potentially take the fight too now. I think Thalash was just peeking it for a little bit of information there. Ali now with the crit screen moves in. Yui going to be the first one to fall in the end. Can they get any more? Thalash now starting to play the point, and this is where they can start to collapse onto them. Thalash, however, is going to be falling to the side of Geo in the end, as Ali did pick up that second kill onto Madness, but the Uber has been popped, and it has faded now for Jasmine, so they could still decide to play this. They've only lost 2 players, make that 3 however now, so I think Full Tilt, they have to start to back off now, think about saving as many players as they possibly can.
Yeah, Full Tilt had an opportunity to enter there, actually. As soon as the Uber charge was popped off and it was on the low ground, if they had really quickly rotated up top and got position, there was only Paulson up there. You can overwhelm him because the Uber can't reach him either, and they could have set up for the post-Uber fight in a much better way, but they didn't take that opportunity. Thankfully, they managed to retain control of upper lobby from their point of view, but they are still on Kritzkrieg, so they've got a 30% advantage now. Ali's got a bit of time to work his way in, but he hasn't been able to find that crucial sticky that he wants, particularly onto Dave. Dave is the key target, but if he can take down Paulson as well, that completely opens up this last. And Salentes has fallen right at the beginning. That does hurt. That hurts them so badly. Costa also took a load of damage, and now it's Uber v Crits, and if they stay in upper lobby and Geo takes an aggressive Uber, this is good night Full Tilt. So this positioning at the moment, super deadly. Oh, and here it comes, the Geo Uber. Is he going to be able to get it? He's been juggled really hard. That is quick thinking there from Full Tilt, but the danger isn't over just yet. He's popped up in the air, and Cost does get taken out with that final rocket, but Mike uses the crits to deal with him. Oh, the spy as well. I didn't even spot it, but Salentes is in, takes down Paulson. Suddenly, it's all turning around. Yui's the only one on last, and he has a sentry gun up. That's the third man on the field, because the rest of the players aren't even alive. Thalash on the point. Are they going to be able to take it here? Do they even want to commit?
Ali's, he looked like he wanted to commit then, but he's just going to be setting up a cheeky little sticky trap there. As Madness just basically shoots one load of pellets into the back of Mike, bringing him down with no issues whatsoever. Now Full Tilt still in control of their second point, running the normal medigun now. It should be noted that no more crits plays for now, but still Full Tilt, they're in control of the game so far, in the driving seat. But Jasmine T with this 1 round lead could be proving a few issues for them.
Both teams are playing with fire here in the way that they're positioning themselves. Yeah. They're being so risky with the fights that they've got and just hoping that they can like skill it on the repush. You saw the super aggressive position with the crits v Uber from Full Tilt. They were able to back out and got some really nice juggles to avoid the disadvantageous position they'd set themselves up for. And then as Jasmine overextend into them, making a risky play of their own, Full Tilt punish it, and they're just able to hold on by the skin of their teeth. So far it's a blinder, but who's that on last? It's Mike. He went in for a cheeky play there. Probably would have capped it if Badlands hadn't been changed just recently, but it has, and Thalash is in onto the point. Can't quite hit the shot onto Geo, and the Ubers have been traded up top, Bren.
They're really, really struggling there to take down that sentry, and that's kind of costed them this Uber now as Geo is just leading the charge. He brings down Salentes. He's taken a lot of damage, however, and there's a few sticky traps to really just pave his way against the team of Full Tilt right now. But even though there is a lot of cap time, they realise they can't really take this fight, and it was really all off the back of that one sentry gun. That bought them an incredible amount of time there to really just get a much better Uber off, essentially.
It did, and they're running this double utility play where they've got Yui and then Madness sniping. So we really haven't seen much from Madness on Sniper. We've seen Yui a few times, and he's hit some crazy flicks. I'm interested to see whether Madness can pull out the same kind of sniper play. He switched off. We're not going to be delighted with a wonderful play from Madness. Instead, The team just looks like they want to set things up very default. No, Madness has actually gone back to Sniper. I think they just spotted Thalash, and Thalash rips the face off of Geo, and that has set them up. Are we going to see some double soldier spam take down the sentry and then an Uber exchange possibly? Celentis likes doing them, but look at Thalash, he's just right there in front of them all. Gets mashed by Zaka as they take an aggressive Uber in. Again, super risky play, but they've caught Ale. But Koss is holding on to his Uber charge. This is the kind of situation that Jasmine put themselves in with those risky plays. They're now facing a full Uber disadvantage on last.
Zaka's coming in from behind right now in lobby though. Sideshow, he's got one rock onto Ale. Can he get the third? Yes, he can. As Ale's actually going to be killing himself in the process now. Mike, he's actually wiggled his way onto the last point, and this is going to be the Uber now. Popped off by Full Tilt. This could be the opening they needed. Mike is just trying his hardest to bait these stickies, but his sentry gun is putting so much work, so much denial now. Really, Jasmine, they need to try and play the point as much as possible, keeping them off it. They picked up one kill. It's 2 men now on Full Tilt against the world. Koss tries to go for the saw. It's not going to be enough, unfortunately, for him. And once again, Full Tilt struggled to just push into this last defense that Jasmine are holding on to.
That's a huge throw from Full Tilt as well, because all they had to deal with was the sentry. Paulson was going to be forced back into spawn. They can play the point. At that point, the only thing that's stopping them cap is that sentry gun that Paulson's also playing around. And all they needed to do was spam it with multiple people. They had Ali there. He was just charging one sticky at a time. Only one of their soldiers was shooting it.
Whoa.
And Zaka gets killed at the same time as Mike there. Thought one of the medics might be in the danger zone as Dave took a bit of damage from that one. But they're bullying their way in here. Geo is just an unstoppable force. Oh, except he's going to be stopped by the balcony there as he hits himself in the face, Hard Blue style.
The back cap by Thalash has pulled a few of them back. In fact, he takes the 1v1 by Paulson, and he's actually going to be winning it in the end. Not surprising for the Scout versus Demo duel, but now we see Full Tilt. They've got a bit of space to work with thanks to Thalash. Uber now going to be popped off by Jasmine, still not managing to get that frag onto Celentis. He finally is going to go down. 2 players now. That disadvantage for Full Tilt, but they have popped off their Uber, leading it in with Mike. Asta's going to be finishing up Dave's. That's no heals whatsoever for Jasmine as well. He finishes up a second one as well before finally going down to Yui. But Geo and Madness, the cleanup crew, as they absolutely decimate Full Tilt from behind, and Mike is the only survivor in that massacre. I spoke too soon as the caster's curse, as Yui just chips him away across the map. And now Jasmine, they got a few players up. They're not looking to push into mid just yet, Sideshow, but still, that could have gone much, much worse.
It certainly could have done, because Full Tilt set them up. They did everything right, apart from their focus fire in the fight. They got themselves a much better Uber charge, even though they dropped 2 players for it. One of them was about to spawn, though, and the rest of the 4 could have all taken that Uber and charged in and just taken kills onto fragging classes, and instead Ast focused down Dave right immediately, when it's not going to be an extended team fight, so healing doesn't matter, and he's not about to get his Uber because he just used it, so a really bad choice of targets, especially when Dave is the one that's going to be dodging and trying to get away from you the most. So they wasted opportunities there to win the team fight because they were too focused on getting the medic. But in terms of how they used the Uber immediately back in straight after Dave's poor one onto Geo, I like that, but the execution and the focus fire wasn't quite on point with Full Tilt. I think a mismatch in communication of what they wanted to do with it, who they wanted to target.
Well, 100% Uber on both these teams. Really, they're just spamming each other out, feeling each other up for these openings that they can potentially exploit. And right now, it looks like Full Tilt looking to try to take it through the house area. Uber's going to be exchanged now by both these teams. There's a bit of a stalemate being met as both soldiers just really just pounding into each other with as many rockets as they possibly can. But once again, no ground gained for any sides whatsoever. Full Tilt look like they want to try and get one opening, but Zaka claims the first kill onto Mike, which is going to basically put off any aggression whatsoever that Full Tilt were thinking about.
Well, they've still got Thalash behind here. Thalash is hanging around in this upper area. He'll try and bait a single player into him, try and split up the people who are coming behind for him, see if he can find 1 frag or call to his team that he's dragged 2 back. Now he's seen 3 of them, so he could communicate that to the rest of his team, but having gone down there just as he saw the 3 of them, it wouldn't be a good time to engage. They'd be essentially taking a 5v6. The other players for Jasmine would be back in the fight, but in that situation, if he spots 3 of them and is then able to take them on a bit of a wild goose chase, Stark or Clockwork style, then at that point it becomes favorable for the rest of his team. But for the moment, we're just stuck in between this choke and house area with Jasmine still 1-0 up and the 2 teams prodding each other. It has started to slow down here. You get the feeling that they're slightly more respectful of the 2 opposing sides. Yeah. They don't just want to trade Ubers in straight away. Both of the roamers are holding in fairly passive positions. So we've got a bit of a moment where the teams are feeling each other out before they go pedal to the metal.
Absolutely. Now we see them moving in. Mike going for the big bomb onto Dave. He gets some beautiful damage off onto him. Not going to be enough. Was that an actual pill from Ali that got that damage in?
I'm not sure there. He did hit some nice rockets. Thalash went in to try and finish up the damage, but wasn't able to. They picked Zaka in return, and the Uber is coming in aggressively here from Geo. The counter pop does now come out of Kos, and he's going to be healing up Ali. They are going to get a better end of this one. Are they going to try and push it all the way through with 2 picks down? Don't think so. So it looks like it's going to reset a little bit, but Geo's been caught, and there goes Paulson as well, and this is going to open things up now. Full Tilt can really slam this one home. Yeah. They should be able to get the Spire here. They might even be able to chase a frag into last. If they're able to catch like Paulson on the respawn or an undefended Dave, sets them up perfectly for last and to make this one 1-1.
Well, they've already capped the Spire. Thalash, unfortunately, losing that 1v1 against Madness. So still, Jasmine, they are on their last point, but still, they are working basically against them so far. So good for Full Tilt. Ali just really putting in as much spam as he possibly can. Uber charge is pretty much equal for both these teams now, and it's actually, I mean, Full Tilt, they're holding pretty passive on this balcony side. Don't want to give out any unnecessary picks, any free kills that Jasmine could potentially play off, but we already see the defensive off classes. We've got a sentry gun going up. Madness on Sniper. Once again, a bit unusual. We usually see Yui on it. Or at least so far we have at this LAN.
Yeah, it seems to be their classic hold on Badlands for the moment is to have Madness on Sniper. It's something that the Aussie teams tend to do. I'm never a big fan of it on Badlands. Same with Gully Wash. I don't think that the angles are great, and if you try and get a good angle defensively, you tend to get caught in whatever push happens and position yourself a little too far forwards. But having said that, Sheep used to do some amazing work at just completely stunting pushes before they'd even begun with a fully charged body shot or a headshot onto a crucial target.
Well, both teams just really spamming each other out for now. Just basically, as I said, feeling each other out, trying to basically expose these weaknesses they can play off. And already we're going to see Mike moving. Oh, see you later, Mike. The back cap was attempted as well as Ast did run onto the point. Maybe if we were using the old Badlands where it capped a little bit faster on last, that might have been doable, but unfortunately not for them. As Full Tilt, they've lost 2 of their crucial members of their team, and now they're going to be backing off all the way to this stone grey bridge. Salenta's holding onto the balcony for now, just waiting, gathering some information for his team.
Yeah, both of these teams have really started to slow it down, but Ali's going in and he's taking the Uber. It had to be flashed though onto Salentes, and that gives it a slightly worse Uber, but they've already taken down Yui, and that was a crucial one, because now if they're able to rotate, and Geo picks up the frag onto Kos, if they find the return here, they might still be okay, but they've got no heals to put here onto Mike or Ali, so this one's going to be super sticky for Full Tilt if they try and push it in. Madness taking the 1v1 now down in the bottom left. 6 HP does have to back off, but he has a medic to go home to, unlike Mike.
We already see the heavy off class coming out by Yui as he has just got his respawns. So that is going to basically stave off Full Tilt for now at least. Salentes does get the kill onto Geo at least before basically paying of his own life. But now Jasmine, they're in a pretty good situation to just push all the way out here. Full Tilt still trying to hold just in that upper area of the second portion, finishing up Thalash as well. That's one pick that is very good for them. But right now, they're just feeling it out, seeing how much room they can potentially take in this lobby area. Whether or not they're going to push out from it is yet to be seen. But right now, it looks like they're having a second force and not even moving up at all.
Yeah, so Badlands has become a tougher nut to crack since they increased the cap time that it requires to cap the final point. Previously, you used to be able to do kind of set executes on it. Oh, never mind, whatever. It's going to be Jasmine just coming straight out of this one. Wasn't expecting that at all, and neither were Full Tilt. Oh, that Paulson pipe. If that had hit, it would have been unreal. But either way, that aggressive Uber charge has picked up 3 players, both of the soldiers and Thalash. I was caught unaware, so was all of Full Tilt, and they have lost their position completely in this round because of it.
Still have the Uber that they could use if they wanted to contest this, and Kos is going to be forced to pop it off, otherwise he was going to lose his demo man Ali, and now they're going to see if they can get any picks whatsoever, but the positioning by Jasmine is so good, not giving them any room whatsoever, kiting them for days. The Uber's already faded, but here comes Mike moving in. Yui picks up one onto Ast, as well as that Geo. The ultimate combination of these Australians is just absolutely tearing them to pieces. Really punishing any aggression that Full Tilt just attempted to go for there. And now it looks like Jasmine is just going to slowly but surely work their way in with this player advantage. And I believe they will be able to take this with no issues whatsoever.
Dave managed to munch a pipe during that fight, though.
Right.
unfortunately for Jasmine. And so Costa set himself up with a really nice Uber charge advantage. And the fact that their spawners came in there meant that it was a little unwise for Jasmine to try and take that fight, because if it became extended, within 10 seconds, Costa would have had his Uber. But this is interesting from Jasmine as well. They seem to think that they already have it here. They're on 90%. They could have taken a fight slightly further forwards, tried to deny them from choke a little bit, but they'll be looking for the force here. They're trying to spam, but Paulson's been caught, and that is going to open up last now because they have a 50% Uber advantage and the demo down. This is the best opportunity Full Tilt have had this game to make it 1-1.
They're already moving in. Uber's going to be popped off. They already get the first kill onto Zach, and now the sentry gun is only level 1, but they're trying to force it down. Thalash in that upper area is putting in a lot of damage, and there we go. That's going to be a round secured for Full Tilt, making it 1-1 currently between Jasmine T and Full Tilt.
And you can see why teams have started to move away from this hyper-aggressive style where it's just pure aggression. You take any fight you can find, and you're Ubering out of last in a lot of these situations, stuff like that. So it's it can lead to a lot of casualties for your team. It looks like Jasmine have taken a pause there just for a moment. Not quite sure what that was. They appear to be just chatting with each other. Maybe someone's just lagged out for a moment, or perhaps they just wanted to discuss something, you know?
Absolutely, but this is going to be mid-fight number 3, about to kick off. Pawson trying to put in that early damage. Ali playing it a bit more defensively from that winner position. Mike immediately taking the aggression straight to them. He jumps straight forward, gets off some solid damage with a few rockets, but Madness and Yui are the ones to follow it up. Madness picks up the 2k onto Ast and Thalash, and this is a complete domination of Full Tilt. Cost the only survivor, but not for long, as Madness is hot on his tail. Picks up a 5k in that mid-fight. Unreal plays by that man, but now, I mean, Full Tilt, they're in a very sticky situation here. They don't have the Uber because Costin managed to get out, and I mean, Dave, he's approaching 100% now.
He is. They've got a great opportunity to get the lead straight back from them. Again, as we saw with the first round, it was just a dominant mid-fight. They destroyed them on the mid. Both of their scouts doing so much work, and you've got to be able to shut down Yui and Madness. I think that the best way of trying to counter a team that plays like this is to put really early damage onto either scout that you can find before they're in the fight, because as soon as they get that buff and start to move across the point, super deadly.
Well, right now, Crit Trigger is trying to be built up by Jasmine, but the Uber is going to be popped in now, leaded by Pawson. And they're trying to bring down that sentry gun. It does get off class, and so the sentry did get destroyed there. There's a lot of stickies on the point as well, so really, now, as well as that, the Uber has faded for Jasmine T. Thalash on heavy, doing a hell of a lot of work to keep them away. A couple of pills are going to be forcing him all the way back to off class once again to scouts, but Pawson does get the exit frag as they are trying to basically work their way out, and that could be the one pick they needed. Thalash doesn't manage to find Zaka amidst the confusion. In the end, Jasmine look like they still want to try and take this Madness behind the point. It's just basically trying to bring as many players back, but Pawson picks up 2. Yui as well follows it up. My goodness, they just absolutely steamrolled them there, kited them for days, and just worked it to perfection.
They certainly did. That was really nice from Jasmine, just able to pick people apart just one at a time there. But the other thing that Full Tilt did in that situation was that they had Ali above the point on the lamp, which means that you want to be playing as defensively as possible in that situation. You want to make sure that the rest of your team doesn't bleed players, because your demo man isn't there to give damage. You're at a disadvantage overall. So what do? They throw Silentis in the bottom left and just feed a kill to him, and once you got essentially a 6v4 fight, it becomes really difficult there. So they definitely need to tighten up their last holds if they want to play like that again.
Well, this time both demos decided to take the full rollout, the normal rollout that you usually see outside of house. A lot of spam being exchanged so far. Madness taking the lower area, but it's actually Ast who takes the first kill anyway onto Zaka. Mike follows it up with a quick 2k onto Dave as well, meaning no medic whatsoever for Jasmine. Oh, Gio! Goodness gracious me, man! What was that pick onto Koss there? Just leaps into the fray and just plucks him out of the grass. And there we are. That is going to be really the only silver lining that Jasmine are going to get out of this, as Full Tilt are capping up the second point a bit slowly, but I mean, Jasmine, they are going to have this Uber to hold on to last with.
Yeah, they are. The fact that Gio was able to pick up Koss there is perfect for them. It slows down the game while they're ahead. It means that they can't just bring it straight into last. And Thalash takes a 1v1 actually and dies straight after Mike has. So Paulson's looking to take this one back. That's a really nicely timed aggressive play. Completely caught the players from Full Tilt off guard. And they're not used to playing against this kind of stuff, Full Tilt. Yeah. They're used to playing against Crowns or lower teams that they can just steamroll over. Jasmine really giving them a run for their money here.
We do see full tilt. They did punish that aggression at least. They did pick up the 2 quick and easy frags that they were trying to push in, but at the same time it might be countered onto them as Ali is going to be the first casualty. Once again, Madness follows it up with a kill onto Salentes. And right now, Ast, he might be a little bit too far forward here. Jasmine, they're giving them a bit of room to breathe here to sort of maneuver their way into the second point now, but Jasmine look to not really want to give up any more room whatsoever as they are just moving straight up onto the mid. Paulson leading the charge with the heals, putting in some stickies. Thalash trying to put in a lot of damage onto him. Mike into the sidelines there, has managed to find that 1 kill onto Zaka at least. So that is 1 frag going their way. Gio now might get caught out of position as well. He's trying to take that 1v1 against Mike, but Thalash just assists him in the nick of time, making this a 2-man advantage so far for Full Tilt if they chose to play off this. The heals are looking good. Salentes has moved in. He hits a fat rocket onto Madness, bringing him all the way down with the help of Ali there. So already Full Tilt just striking back. I think Jasmine T, they're not really going to be in a position to contest this. However, they do have the Uber charge still for last.
They still do. There's 7 minutes left here. Starting to get into crunch time. Jasmine again onto their last. Pretty similar setup there. Salentes throws himself in, isn't able to get onto Dave. They haven't had much luck with any of their picks onto Dave on Badlands last. They've been able to pick him up with frightening regularity in the rest of the matches. The rest of Jasmine just seem to kind of throw Dave to the wind a lot of the time when they're taking fights on second or mid. But on last, he sat really passively, and they're finding it difficult to get onto him and engineer an ubercharge advantage for themselves. And they're at risk all the time of being pushed onto by Jasmine. And it is in their heads. You can see with the passive position that Full Tilt currently have, with only a few players in, and the rest of their team don't quite know where to support them, that they're scared of being pushed on any angle.
Salentes on Spy, he gets spotted right quick. He just bumping into too many players there. That could have been the entry they needed to try and crack this defense wide open. But Jasmine, they've got the defensive off classes up. They've got the engineer. They've got Madness on sniper. As you mentioned, the Australian teams, they do take a favourite to that sort of class lineup, this composition when they're holding on to Badlands last. But right now, Full Tilt, they're just happy to just take it slowly. They're just pushing as they can really into lobby. Whatever space that Jasmine are going to give them, they will take it. And right now, we're left in a 100% Uber on both teams currently situation.
And this game so far has been much slower than the previous games that we've covered so far in the groups. And what the hell? What? Did I just see that? How did that happen? Ast gets juggled by the sentry and just 2-shots Zaka and somehow gets surfed back out, bottom left. What on earth was that?
Full Tilt now trying to take this fight straight in. Uber's going to be popped off by both of them. The sentry still doing a decent amount of work, but it is getting spammed out from the side by Mike, who is actually very, very low. And right now, Full Tilt, they've lost Salentes. They are currently taking this fight 5v6. So unless they have some clever positioning and some good frags, they could still try and take this if they can. But Zaka follows it over the pick onto Ast. Thalash now may die as well, followed up by Ali. He might be able to get out. I think he has indeed, unless he gets chased up by any members of Jasmine T. But once again, another failed last push, even after that bit of a bizarre play by us.
And we were kind of theory crafting coming into this one that maybe Jasmine and Full Tilt would be, throwing caution to the wind. They've already secured, the top 3 seed minimum, but they certainly aren't. They look like they want to take this one. They want the mental advantage at the very least going into the bracket games tomorrow. Because if you manage to get the first seed and you've beaten or, not lost to any of the other teams in the group, you feel so good going into day 2.
Right now, the sentry gun's still being built up by Jasmine. We might see Mike going for a little attempt. He's just really spamming them out now, getting some information for his team. Zaka is going to get forced to back off a little bit now. But we see Ast on sniper. He's going for seeing if he can get eyes onto anyone at all. Zaka might be in his sights. No, he just backs away in the nick of time. But here we go. Uber now going to be popped off by Full Tilt. At the same time, Jasmine are going to be getting off the counter Uber. And it's a much better one at that. Ali just manages to finish off the sentry gun. So that's one less distraction for them. If they want to try and take this fight, Mike might actually fall there. Koss also dove a little bit too deep there, trying to save Mike in the end. Ali putting in a decent amount of work.
What is that?
Goodness gracious me, Ali. Goodness
and
gracious
that's a headshot as well. This is doable here. The 1v1. Yui on the point, but he can't take it. And Thalash is going to draw it level at 2-2. Just some unreal individual plays there. Ast hits the double pipe. Ala hits the double pipe. Ast picked up 2 frags with headshots while that whole fight was going on. And then as he takes a bit of attention, he took a single moment there from Yui just to deal with the sniper. It gives enough time for Thalash to get onto the point, take 2 shots, deals with Yui, brings it back level at 2-2 with under 4 minutes left.
Unreal. Only 3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. This is most likely going to be the last round unless they take it very, very quickly. But both these teams going to be trying their hardest to steamroll as fast as possible right now. We see Jasmine, Pawson taking a bit of a passive rollout this time, really just playing with his team around the valley area. Salentes this time jumping onto the crates, trying to get forward. Zaka might actually be paying with his life. Indeed he does. He dove a little bit too deep there. As does manage to find that kill onto him. Salentes also follows up with Pawson. But right now, Jasmine, they've lost 3 players. Full Tilt looking like they're in the more dominant position.
They need to deal with Madness and Yui though. If they allow heals to be on Madness and Yui and they drop down, but Thalash wins the 1v1 there, even though he had the heals from Dave. So I was worried there for Full Tilt because if you leave Yui, Madness and Dave alive and they're underneath and you just send one player down at a time, like Mike dropped down and then Thalash dropped down and there wasn't a coordinated effort to get them out of that situation, I was concerned that they'd just be able to mop up. But now Full Tilt looking great because they've managed to take down Dave in that situation, get themselves a full Ubercharge advantage. Zaka could be brilliant. This play could be amazing.
He's fired off the rockets. The Uber's been popped up by Full Tilt at the same time. The Pyro off glass by Jasmine does a little bit of denial, and Madness actually finishes up Ali with a quick dirty headshot as well from that upper area. This is really working out all in Jasmine's favour right now. Really well played by them with these off classes as well. They did a brilliant job of defending that against all odds essentially as well, as Full Tilt had that 100% Uber advantage. But now we see them on the back foot trying to basically hold the second as passively as possible as Jasmine T look to take the forward positioning. Pawson moves forward, trying to basically create a bit of cap time for his team, and they might actually be able to get this. Full Tilt looking to contest this now as Ali does manage to finish up Pawson. That's no demo man for Jasmine right now. Bit of lack of damage for them. Yui now forced down to a single digit of HP, having to back off all the way. Madness also pays with his life, but at the same time, Koss has fallen in this battle, and as I say that, Salentes has finished up Dave, so it doesn't even matter. And Yui with the 2K, this is just going all over the place.
Now the way that Jasmine push onto Spire, look, is Yui really... Salentes there. Kratos to his death, but still managed to pick up the kill onto Yui. The way that Jasmine push out onto Spire is unique among the teams, actually. What they do is they put Paulson up onto the Spire, and they have both of their scouts playing on the ground. And it creates a really strange dynamic where people are jumping up onto Paulson, he's trying to surf around, and he goes down to collect the heals, while Madness and Yui are attempting to kill the people who are on the point. So instead of having your scouts cap, they've got something strange going on. And it's really messing with the way that Full Tilt are trying to rotate their people up there. Apologies for that black screen just for a moment, but we are into our final minute, and it is 2-2 still. You haven't missed a thing.
Full Tilt looking like they want to take this round the back. Ast is already maneuvering away around them, but at the same time, they're basically trying to split up Jasmine to the best of their abilities. Only 40 seconds remaining now, and this is it, the big wraparound, as Mike has found his way onto Dave. He only gets one rocket off before falling, but at the same time now, Full Tilt, they need to make something happen here. They need to try and go for it if they want to try and at least get this win against Jasmine, and they will have to get advantage. But exactly, they've dropped so many players now. At the same time, they've got nothing to lose by going in, but they are trying to fight this 4v6 now as it stands. Ali trying to hold on. The Uber's going to be popped off by both these teams as Jasmine look to take it even further. Gio moves forward now, trying to find that one kill onto Ali, but a beautiful stickies. The old 1-2 finishes up Yui and Gio. Only 8 seconds remaining, however, is most likely going to mean that unless something ridiculous happens, like someone just starts speed hacking on LAN, that is going to be the end, and that's going to be a draw for our final game of the night between Jasmine T and Full Tilt. And my God, we've had some brilliant games today.
We really have, and Jasmine seemed fairly happy about that. Gio's got a big grin on his face. Yui and Paulson were smiling at each other as well, and it seems like they're pretty happy to be in that situation where they're unbeaten in the group despite drawing with 2 teams. The same case for Full Tilt. Both of these teams went into their final game unbeaten. Both remain unbeaten. It's a really strange situation. We saw it at i58 with TLR for the longest time, where they had that draw against Froyotech, which meant that they hadn't been beaten in the group stages. So it's kind of a similar situation here, but the amount of draws that we're having, I think, normally you'd expect draws if the games are really slow and nobody can take the lasts, but it's not been like that. I mean, this game was a little more like that, but it's still nothing like we're used to with, like, when we cast European Online TF2 and they're just going at each other, just a real slow slugfest, trading spam for ages. It just really hasn't been like that. Yui and Madness especially, I'm super impressed with how those guys are playing.
100%. Really curious now to see what our analysts are going to have to say about this game. We've got a few men on the desk that you're familiar with. They've just been bantering all day, haven't they? Let's see what they have to say. He's giggling away. Look at him.
It's me, the Bantosaurus Rex. 2-2 the score here. Jasmine, Full Tilt, both end the day undefeated. Sideshow said it, but that really is the storyline here. It's quite impressive.
We said it would be close, and you can't get closer than pretty much every other game being a draw.
Now, for the were to look at their win rate, it would look so impressive. You know, for Axel talking about wins rather than not losing. I don't know. It's kind of mediocrity at the top, just popping off some shots there. But I'd love to see some stats right now. I know we are getting towards the end of the day. Thanks for staying with us all the way through. But let's see what the logs have to say about that last game. Oh, we're trying to find the logs. WARHURYEAH, what did you think about that
Wait,
game?
they might be under here.
I've got the logs.
Oh, wait, no.
Give me a moment. I had them
Keep
on
looking,
my-
David.
I have them on my phone just a moment ago. Mum, you're going to have to wait for that text back. I love you too. Yui, 31 kills, 11 deaths. If
Decent. Zoom, can you pinch?
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Nice
Oh,
zoom
see,
in
look,
war.
there you go.
Nice.
Look at that.
Some great
The
zoom
zoom
on
on
that
this
phone.
phone's amazing.
Oh, crystal clear.
Yeah, Yui, 31 kills, 11 deaths. Very, very good performance again. It's been the same throughout pretty much the entirety of LAN. I mean, he's had a few games where he's just had a normal scout kill death ratio, but again, he's just sort of pulling magic out when his team needs it. I mean, the game was very close across the whole thing. Jasmine's last holes were
Jasmine, are you
very,
serious?
very good, I have to say. I kind of felt like Full Tilt didn't really seem to deal with the sentry gun of all things.
It was bizarre. They really just kept getting stumped in these last pushes, and it always seemed like they had a pretty even opportunity, but they just always seemed to just pick the wrong target or not deal with something that ultimately cost them later on. It seemed not bad, but just not quite that cutting edge and that sort of finishing clinicalness.
Yeah, I think overall everybody played very well, apart from Thalash,
Note it.
because he's on 10 kills, 21 deaths, which is a bit out of character for him, so everybody has a bad day anyway.
He was playing behind a lot. Like, he's sort of playing those... He's buying his team a lot of time, and obviously there's nothing on the logs that demonstrates that, but a few of those plays really did buy his team a lot.
Yeah, I think overall, I mean, the logs speak for themselves, but the game speaks for themselves. They both pretty much met each other across the board.
Got to kind of shine a light on Madness, because we've been picking up UE all day, particularly in the analyst desk. It's been the narrative we've been trying to sell, but really Madness has had some big games, especially previously on product against Crowns, and again he's come up here with fat stats while Thalash is just kind of faded into the background. You can definitely see the sort of disparity here. Looked like they were managed able to tie things up there, but let's keep moving on. Show me some more stats, some graphics maybe, production. Oh, what's up with this one? Half of it's missing.
Oh,
.NET errors.
Well, as you can see from this latest graphic,
Abort.
there is a server application error.
It's Sombra. Oh
Blimey.
no. Oh wait, sorry. Wrong game.
Oh, no. How much did they pay you? We all know that they were the ones that sort of... We all know, right, that they paid Border Control to not let Dashner in. They sabotaged this whole thing.
of all the productions that got it, we got the announcement.
Exactly.
Sombra, yeah.
It's the perfect payoff. Nothing's going to make people sort of like go over. It's just like, guys, we've got him now.
Got him.
Tomorrow, no one's here. We're all playing Overwatch. Pressing Q.
That's the most interesting part about this tournament, is how we transition through games every day.
We do. What game will it be tomorrow? Some people think it's going to be the Stanley Parable, but we will find out when.
Interesting to note here, guys. The game did start off at a breakneck speed. We were looking for action-packed. I made some crazy prediction of 5-4 scoreline, but it seemed like they kind of got a little scared after that, or Full Tilt had a little bit of a wake-up call when they went 1-0 down. They really sort of grounded out to get back in the game.
It was weird, yeah. It kind of got into a stage where Full Tilt just kept not being able to find that final blow. They tried crits a few times, which is, I think, Sideshow may have mentioned it. They never really did that in a season. Do you know what I mean? Cos went like a whole season without really running crits, either last season or the one before, and now they seem quite happy to try it. It's not come off for Ali yet, but they're certainly willing to experiment, and we've already said they got more things in store for us. But on that note as well, Ali really impressed me throughout. Like, even he didn't give a crucial sticky kills for crits ones. Really impressive all-round performance.
He definitely has shown up to LAN, and like we were given a preview of this at DreamHack Summer, because for so long Ali had been hamstrung by playing on some AIDS laptop, 60 hertz screen, etc. But now he's back here at LAN and he is doing it live. Any more graphics coming up here, production? You know, some map overviews?
Any more errors to look at?
Do you want an interesting
fine.
bit
This
of
is a beautiful
information? Crowns are currently beating Froyo 2-1 on Badlands.
How much time left?
Say
do we
what?
know?
Say what?
There's 8 minutes left as of 5 minutes ago.
Are we going to jump in and cast the game from the analyst desk? Production?
We don't have that ability. Yeah, actually,
We're taking hold of this.
I had a sody pop. I am ready to go.
We're buzzing. We've had our second win here on the analyst desk. We're going to jump right into... No, sorry. We're actually going to... I think we're going to be moving over to another interview with eXtine and
Some kind of one-liner right here.
So, full tilt Thalash. Suck it out in that game. Now he's going to go under the interrogation treatment from eXtine. Over to you, eXtine.
Yow! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our last interview of this very long and wonderful night. I'm here with Thalash from Full Tilt. And Thalash, why don't you just give us a little bit of a breakdown on how your day overall has been, how your team's feeling right now, and all that good stuff?
So it started off okay. Drew with Froyo, which was it was a shaky game, first game of the day. We hadn't really scrimmed, so it was a bit tough. Then I believe we played... Who did we play? Oh, I forget.
Yeah, right. Greenery.
No, we played Froyo on Granary, and then I forget what the second map was. But I mean, we've tied 3 of our games now. We tied versus Froyo, Crowns, and now Jasmine. So I think we're finished second or third, depending on how the Froyo second Crowns game goes. So, but yeah, it's been a long day, and I'm glad it's over right now. So I want to go back to the hotel.
Yeah, definitely. We were discussing the group stage, and Froyo Crowns still playing it out right now. You guys just had a great result against Jasmine, pulling it even, as you said, getting that 2-2 tie. What was your impression of the Australians? I mean, they've been such an unknown for the teams and the fans watching this event.
So playing them online, like the past week, we've had like 2 close maps versus them, but a lot of them have been rolls in our favor, but they've definitely stepped it up for LAN. They're playing really, really well, so I think they can definitely make it to possibly the final.
Nice. And tomorrow we got the bracket stage. You guys, as we said, your matchup still to be determined. Is there any hope there, or anybody that you would get some passion out of knocking them out of the tournament?
Crowns, obviously. It would be or Froyo maybe, but Crowns probably, because that's been the team we've been playing against in Europe for the past year, and we've always come second. So it'd be nice to knock them out.
Nice. So far, what have been your favorite moments of this group stage? Whether it be you actually getting some frags, which you got plenty of, or your teammates in particular moments with them?
I mean, the Snakewater game versus Crowns, where I held 1v2 at the end to kind of save it, was a good moment. I felt good, But yeah, no, all the games have been really good. Some more than others, obviously. The Furry game was actually really fun to play, even though it was the first one. And the Jasmine one was really great as well. So yeah, a lot of good moments.
Awesome. Well, I think the production crew and everybody here might get mad at me if I drag this on too long. So I'll just give you a chance to give some shout-outs, and then, of course, we'll be looking forward to watching you guys play next tomorrow.
Yeah. Big shout-out to everyone who donated to our fundraiser to get us here so we can win the tournament. And yeah, shout out to just everyone who even looked at our fundraiser. Even if you didn't donate, it's fine, And thanks for watching the stream. And tune in tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. So much support from the community for your team, for Jasmine, for Froyo, and just supporting this production as well. So, of course, we really appreciate it. It's been a wonderful day today. And to further wrap things up of how they went today, as well as what we can look forward to tomorrow, love to throw it to our panel of experts in Admirable taking the lead right now.